Hey everyone, Alan Smith here with Truth About Trucking, Ask the Trucker, and TruckingSocialMedia.com. I want to share some major concerns for all drivers as we enter 2017, and there are a lot of concerns for drivers in this new year. On top of the list of concerns are ELDs and hours of service. Now it makes sense that these would be the top two concerns since both affect truck driver wages and the ability to earn a living wage. Drivers are paid piecework wages, or cents per mile, as we all know, and HOS dictates how many hours a driver may drive and work, and the ELD enforces it. Most drivers refer to this as fighting the 14-hour clock. So you could actually say that truck driver wages are the top concern for professional drivers as we kick off 2017. Now I want to talk to you about a bill or law coming in 2017 which will drastically affect driver wages if passed. The ATA has already stated that getting this law passed is one of their main objectives for 2017. It's hidden behind the smokescreen of words like meal and rest break, but in actuality it's a bill which would prevent drivers from ever being paid for all time worked. It's widely known that drivers work an extra 30 to 40 hours in addition to their driving time. Times such as waiting at docks, DOT inspections, filling out paperwork, fueling, pre- and post-trip inspections, and other such required duties. And also keep in mind that driver wages have not increased since 1980. That's 37 years. And because of this, most drivers now agree that they should be paid for all time in order to keep up with inflation and to actually earn a living wage. The fact is that there are about 20 states that do have labor laws which protect employees, including truck drivers, and many of them ensuring that drivers are paid for all time. If drivers are ever going to be paid for all time, it's vital that these state laws remain applicable to truckers and are not preempted by federal laws, which the ATA is wanting to do in 2017. Those within the industry who believe drivers should not have to be paid for all their time are organizations such as the American Trucking Association, the 50 ATA-affiliated state trucking associations, the National Private Truck Council, the Truckload Carriers Association, and the Truck Renting and Leasing Association. Now understand that these organizations want to override state labor laws. Motor carriers and others who have fought to not pay drivers in states where these labor laws have lost in court. They argued that states cannot regulate truckers who fall under federal hours of service regulations. They also argued that the wording in the 1994 Federal Aviation Administration Authorization Act, or the F4A as it's known, was meant to prevent states from paying drivers for all time, and that federal laws should preempt state labor laws. So what is the F4A? The F4A was designed and meant to deregulate a state's ability to regulate freight, forbidding states from enacting laws that interfere with prices, routes, or service of motor carriers. It was not, however, designed to override or preempt state labor laws. That is a fact. And the Supreme and Circuit Courts have already stated this and made their decisions siding with the drivers. Motor carriers have lost these court cases many times as they have tried over and over again not to pay drivers in states that have labor laws which pay employees for all time, including rest breaks. Now, drivers are not forced to take these breaks, but they will be paid for them. The ATA feels confident that in 2017 their attempt to convince Congress to pass provisions to preempt state laws will pass with a new Republican Congress. As part of the ATA's goal to preempt states' rights, the ATA and others in the industry want to bypass the Supreme Court decisions by appealing to lawmakers. They want Congress to create a new law or add provisions to an existing law which will preempt all state labor laws when it comes to truck drivers only. This would exempt drivers from state labor laws just as the Fair Labor Standards Act exempts drivers from overtime. They have tried 2 times already to introduce provisions into existing law that would preempt state labor laws. Both times the provisions failed to be passed. The first attempt was in the 2015 FAST Act Transportation Bill, when the Denham Amendment was added at the very last minute, and then again in the Federal Aviation Reauthorization Bill in 2016, just last year. Just as the Fair Labor Standards Act has exempt truck drivers from receiving overtime since 1935 because of the 35 Motor Carrier Act, so would this new bill or provisions permanently affect drivers from being paid for non-driving responsibilities such as loading or unloading at the docks. Now make no mistake, there will be a bill introduced this year, and once again it will be up to drivers to alert the lawmakers and tell them to vote no. The bill is an attempt to ensure that truck drivers will never be able to be paid anything except their piecework wages cents per mile. Now most of us believe that the federal government should not be able to overpower the states, and most of us do not believe in more regulations, especially when it comes to trucking and regulations which affect drivers' ability to earn a living wage. At a time when HOS and ELDs are affecting driver wages, we must tell lawmakers to say no to any bill or provision in an existing bill or law which would prevent any hope for drivers to be paid for all time. Now I'll be making a series of videos and posts updating everyone on the progress of the ATA and any others' attempts to influence government regarding labor laws and truck driver wages. So stay tuned, we're just getting started. I'll talk to you soon.